As President Donald Trump's choice for the Supreme Court made the rounds on Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats were struggling with this key question. How hard should they fight the selection of Judge Neil Gorsuch to serve on the high court? Trump warning that his party may try to cut out Democrats altogether if they filibuster his nominee, urging Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to invoke the so-called nuclear option to allow just 51 Republicans to confirm Gorsuch, rather than the 60 votes required now.
I would say, if you can, Mitch, go nuclear, because that would be an absolute shame if a man of this quality was caught up in the web. So I would say it's up to Mitch, but I would say go for it.
Democrats are firing back.
That's enormously unhelpful. That's a threat. And I don't think the president should threaten the congressional branch of government.
But Feinstein declined to say if she'd back a filibuster.
Do you think Democrats should filibuster this nomination?
I'm not there yet. I can't say.
Liberal Democrats are still fuming at Senate Republicans for refusing to even have a hearing for former President Barack Obama's Supreme Court nominee, Merrick Garland. And they believe Gorsuch should not be given a lifetime seat because of his conservative ideology.
Yes, I am personally going to fight as hard as I can in order to block this confirmation of Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court of the United States. I believe that it is absolute imperative that he not serve on the Supreme Court.
Yet other Democrats say that Trump is not affecting the ideological balance of the court, since he's filling the seat of the late conservative Justice Antonin Scalia. And they say they should save their firepower and the filibuster for the next fight, when Trump may replace a more liberal justice. Senator Joe Manchin bluntly issuing this warning to his party.
If we're ever going to be back into the majority, they're going to have to learn to work with moderates. They have to be tolerant and understand that. If not, they're going to be in the super minority. And I think that's something that they should be very much concerned about.
The White House is hoping to win over Manchin and 9 other Democrats who are up for re-election in states Trump won, including Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill, who is non-committal about Gorsuch, but says the nominee must win 60 votes.
I want to listen and learn, but no way we should give up the 60-vote margin, which is the filibuster.
The battle comes as tensions turn to rage over Trump's cabinet, with Republicans taking an unprecedented step to change the rules and advance 2 of Trump's cabinet nominees after Democrats boycotted a committee vote on Tom Price's nomination to head Health and Human Services and Steven Mnuchin to run the Treasury Department. Yet one Trump nominee is running into problems after 2 Republicans announced they'd vote against Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary, which would force Vice President Mike Pence to break a tie in the Senate.
This is not a decision that I have made lightly.